Carl and Damon here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it is They Made What into a Movie. As we return to the animated department to look at Tekken, the motion picture. Not the Tekken you're thinking of, not the live action one. In 1998, there was a animated feature film which seemed to be trying to tie into or get something from the Street Fighter movie on that basis. Produced by ASC2 Corporation and Sony Music Entertainment Japan, and by the animated studio Studio Dean. Released in Japan originally, of course. It is one of the first OVAs to use digital ink and paint. I thought that was cool.
Yep.
The film's story is loosely based on the first game, where Kazuya is the main character and Heihachi is the head of the Mishima Corporation. And Tekken 2, which features Jun and Lei's investigation of Mishima's legal activities, although it also incorporates some elements from Tekken 3. Quick talk, Tekken. What do you think? Games-wise? Tekken 3 is good.
Never a big fan of everyone.
Same.
Yeah, so I was always Street Fighter or Virtual Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my phrase. Yeah, Tekken. Yeah, it was a fighting game. I'm not really a fighting game person, am I?
Same. Yeah, never really been big in the beat 'em ups, but I know Tekken 3 was probably the one that was played the most in our household back then. Obviously, actor-wise, it's all voice actors. So I'm going to give you a quick run-through of the characters and who does the English voices. I'm not reading the Japanese ones.
No.
So Kazuya Mishima, Adam Dudley. Heihachi Mishima, John Paul Shepard. Jun Kazama, Edie Patterson. Lei Wulong, Gray Haddock. Lee Chaolin, David Stokey. Nina Williams, Ellie McBride. Anna Williams, Claire Hamilton. Young Jun, Lucy Farris. Young Kazuya, Jacob Franchek, Michelle Chang, Jessica Robinson, Jack 2, Mark O'Brien, Jane, Jessica Swartz, Bruce Irvin, Peter Harrell Jr., Jin Kazuma, Jacob Franchek again, Bake Du Sun, Lowell B. Bartholomew, and Ganru Lowell B. Bartholomew. So, that should tell you already.
Yeah, lots of cast.
There's a lot in this.
Yeah.
And this is only 57 minutes long. And overall, it's okay. It's okay. It's silly at times.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly too much of this. Too much jabbering.
Too much talking, not a lot of fighting for what Tekken is. Too much, I just didn't like it.
No, you didn't like it.
It was okay. I mean, I found myself getting a bit bored.
Yeah.
First, and it's just like, I just wanted to see. When we said Tekken, I thought, okay, yeah, maybe it'd be like sort of a Street Fighter style. Not that Street Fighter's a good movie, but I just thought like a similar, like talking, a bit of fighting, that sort of thing. But it was not what I thought it was.
We will definitely further down the line, of course, touch the actual live action Tekken movie, because I'm sure that's better.
Oh yeah, well.
The movie opens with a voiceover talking about fighting, religion and justice. How aggression isn't built in all of us from birth. It gets a bit over the top about fighting while images of the game characters come flying in and says Tekken is the key to life. And I was like, all right, it's a full-on start.
Since the birth of this planet, a memory has become deeply engraved onto the genes of all living things. A memory of aggression as a means of survival. A memory of fighting. Humans seek to defend their actions in the name of truth. The act of fighting is itself a true act. Without this truth, the fighter will perish. To learn the way, ask your own flesh and blood, because one's flesh is the door to the truth. To master the way, ask your own ken or fist, because complete knowledge of one's flesh, blood, and fist is what creates one's Tekken, and Tekken is the key to life!
We then cut to a small girl crying somewhere when an older boy comes along and asks, "Why are you crying?" She witnessed a bobcat killing a rabbit. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
This is a start and a half, isn't it? The older one tells her that he will take care of the bobcat as he's there to be the best fighter in the world. That boy is Kazuya Mishima, and the girl is Jun Kazama. This film does a terrible job of telling you who's who.
Yes.
I had to look up online to work out who these people were to begin with. Kazuya is grabbed from behind by the towering figure of Heihachi, who questions why he's talking to Jun as she is weak. He calls Kazuya weak, takes his locker off and throws it in the grass. We see it open up, and we can make out in one pit side is a woman with a baby, so you kind of presume that's his mother.
Yeah.
Heihachi declares no son of his will be weak. before walking off with him over his shoulder. Jun then picks up the locket and hums. She literally goes, We then see Heihachi bringing Kazuya to the cliff edge, where he declares that if he is strong and his son, he will be able to climb back up. Kazuya realizes what is about to happen, so struggles as Jun runs to try and stop Heihachi, but it is too late and he throws Kazuya off the cliff. And I was like, okay,
Cheers,
bit harsh.
Cheers, Dad.
Yeah, I mean, a bit harsh. There are better ways to test the strength than throwing off a cliff.
Dad, please don't. You can't do this to me.
If you're truly my son, then you'll be able to climb back up.
Please don't. Please don't! Stop it!
We then cut to Jun, who's older and waking up in bed. It was a dream that she started apparently to have again. So it seems like a recurring one. And we see that she has kept Kazuya's locket to date. So what do you make of this start? Because my biggest problem was I was just confused. I was struggling to follow what was happening.
Yeah, I was trying to read the comments, but then the comments were disabled for some reason on my thing.
Oh, okay. You watch it on YouTube, yeah?
Yeah, I watched it
Same
on YouTube.
here,
I watched it on YouTube. But yeah, again, until you mentioned the characters' names, I didn't even put him.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Difficult to follow. Very difficult to follow along.
Yeah, I mean, it's a typical Japanese anime program, you know. It's that the characters are all explicit, you know, all the clothes are big and exaggeration, you know.
Their facial expressions, yeah.
Yeah, like I was just missing the old speech bubbles.
Yeah, true. Well, talking of which then, animation overall, now considering it does look dated, it is of a time period, it's got a kind of manga look to it at times. What do you think?
I liked it, because it reminded me of like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon back in the day, because that was perfect for me.
Brilliant fucking reference point. Yu-Gi-Oh! Man, that is exactly what it reminds me of. Sometime later, Jun works as an Interpol agent and is being shown some footage of an unusual creature that apparently came up in a fisherman's net. She's given a report and told to investigate strange details about the monster, apparently a multi-gene life form. We then find out that cloning was banned and that a superior suspects the company known as Mishima is behind it. He suspects they're experimenting on animals to create bioweapons to start a war. I was kind of like, well, that's a big leap, but then I was like, oh, Umbrella did the same thing, so fucking hell, why not? But I was also a bit like, you're Tekken, what the fuck are we doing?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, where's the fights?
I know we need a story, but fucking hell. Jun gets angry about assignment, saying that infiltrating Mishima HQ is impossible. He then slides an invitation to the upcoming King of Iron Fist tournament to her, saying that they have entered her in it and it's a chance to get into Mishima HQ. I was like, okay, that works.
Makes sense,
Yep. We also learn that Heihachi is the head of Mishima. She sees a photo of him and recognises him from her dreams. We then find out to win the tournament is a $1 billion prize. Totally do that. Her boss still reminds her that she is a skilled fighter, and while many other skilled fighters will be at the tournament, she could actually win it. I was a bit like, cheers, boss. Do you want a bit of confidence going, you will win?
Yeah.
You could win.
You could win.
You know? I'd be like, what happens if I don't? Do you die? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
But again, it hasn't really explained what sort of fighting style she has. And it literally, so all you know is, okay, that she's the grown-up woman. She's a grown-up girl from
the start.
She's apparently a fighter.
Yeah, and works for Interpol.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
But yeah, we never really did see her fight, do we? No. Yeah. Her boss, after her boss talks to her, she's feeding some birds, but gets a bad premonition before being attacked from behind. The person in question is thrown away instantly by Jun and introduces himself as Lei Wulong. And he apparently just wanted to see how good of a fighter she was. Oh, this guy.
Yep.
The thing he talks about. So, like, if you want to, like, the fact you're like, your first thing is, what if she wasn't good? And you hit her in the face. Nice.
Yep.
He is also going to take part in the tournament and is a no partner. She puts him down, he flirts, and she walks off coldly. So basically, he's a little bit sexist as well.
Yes.
He constantly references, or sometimes references, like women being too skinny to fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Oops. Sorry about that. You really are a student of the old school Kazuma Ryu, aren't you? I didn't believe it could be a petite woman like you. I just had to see it for myself. I know it was rude not to introduce myself first. Please forgive me. I'm Lei Wulong of the Hong Kong International Police Force. I received an invitation to Mishima's event as well. The 3WC asked me to work with you in the investigation.
I don't know how you managed to get an invitation with that skill. Maybe you're actually working for the Mishima Corporation.
Maybe we guys just have a weakness for pretty women.
He points out to her that the Mishima Corporation knows who they are and who they work for, so they need to be careful. And I was like, so why are they letting you come then?
Exactly.
This is stupid.
Why have they invited you? They gave you an invite, so.
We then cut to Hayachi talking to his adopted son Lee Chaolen, and they talk about Kazuha still being alive and possibly making a play for the company at the tournament. Like that scene.
Yep.
The stuff between them, I often quite like.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I'd argue that Lee Chaolen is the character that stands out the most for his little, particularly the ending. I thought he gets quite unhinged. Somewhere else now, as Lee is driving down the road talking to Nina Williams about finishing off Kazuha. This is where the film's problems come up again.
Yes.
It's a car, and I'm like, wait, right, that's Lee. Recognise the hair. Who's this? And then later on, they're going to confuse that even more by bringing in Anna, but not telling you it's Anna until Nina arrives to say, hi, Anna.
Yes.
And I'm like, the fucking hell film.
Yeah,
really bad at that.
Yeah, there's a lot of sitting there guessing who the character was.
Yeah, or trying to work it out.
Yes.
I don't know Tekken well enough to visually recognise them, and I'm pretty sure, doesn't Nina have her hair in like a ponytail in the games?
Ponytail, yeah.
I thought she was a good guy in the games as well. Or did I imagine that?
For 15, 16 years.
Anyway, Kazuha, speaking of which, he did survive. As we flash to the boy having survived his ordeal. Bloody and swearing vengeance on his father, he's greeted by some kind of spirit down there. That was interesting. I was like, okay, cool.
Yep.
Now we're with the adult Kazuha, waking up in bed but having had the same dream. As he reflects on it, he's got a big old scar down his chest as well. He looks the part.
Yep.
A noise outside his window gets his attention, and the apartment is sprayed with bullets by Nina. She busts inside, but Kazuha was able to dodge the gunfire, and the pair fight. He wins, kicking her out the window, but she is able to throw a grenade at his feet. He jumps out the same window as it blows up, and he lands in the water below. In the water, he tells her to let his father know that he is coming. You can only get away with this kind of nonsense in anime age.
Yes.
I only could. Dodges all the bullets. Yeah. Someone jumps out the window from a grenade, and they both land in the water, totally unharmed, from a fucking multi-story block.
Yeah, it's very over-the-top exaggeration, yeah.
It is, but I did appreciate the action scene. And the fact that it's quick, and it comes like, we don't get Kazuha sitting there talking for ages.
And it's built up his plotline now, so obviously the son wants to finish the father.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Did my father send you?
So this film then randomly throws in nudity. As we get a random shower scene so we can see some animated boobs. And I was like, well, that was weird.
Yeah.
Bit weird, right? I don't mind it. I don't mind the tone being adult orientated.
Yeah, I mean, every animated film, especially Japanese films, they always seem to do it. You know, I mean, even films like, I don't remember back in the day, Vampire Hunter.
Of course, Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah, literally did the shower scene again.
Yeah.
No need for it.
It's just weird.
But yeah.
And it's the only bit of nudity. Don't get me wrong, earlier on you kind of get Jun in her underwear.
Yeah.
But like, I never thought that when this sort of clip did the shower scene and the camera started moving up, I was like, oh, it's going to cut any moment now.
Yep.
And I was like, oh no, it didn't. Weird. Lee is on the phone before being told that the attempt to kill Kazuha failed. So that's Nina on the phone. He tells Nina that once he's in charge of Mishima, she won't have to take chances like that again. So this scene is laying out motivations.
Yes, yeah.
The shower woman comes in and reveals herself to be Anna, which is where I was fucking confused.
Yep.
The sister of Nina. She dislikes her sister and seems to be hoping that she'll actually get killed. Yeah, they don't like each other at all. No. We're back with Jun and Lei, who are checking out the island of Mishima and trying to work out how they can get to its secret underground parts. And all I kept thinking was, joke coming. Lei wants to get to Jun's secret underground parts. Couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
We're fairly certain it's an advanced weapons testing facility.
You got this from the U.S. military?
These days, there's always somebody who'll sell you the information you want. Just don't ask too many questions.
The next day, they talk about the explosion at Kazuma's place, but don't have any leads at all. They see their boat to the island, but a huge man known as Jack 2 and a little girl we know as Jane are in some bother with the Mishima guards. Jack wants to board, but is being told no, as he has no invitation. Judd and Lei get involved, beating up the guards and declaring that the boat was under police jurisdiction. And I was like, wow, that's keeping to yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Why would you do that?
Talk about make yourself...
See, making some
yeah,
known.
exactly,
They didn't know who you were beforehand. They fucking do now.
Exactly.
Lee, from up in the boat, hears the noise and wants to know what's going on. He's told to what happened, so sets his bodyguard Bruce to fight Jack on the promise that whoever wins can enter the tournament. Because apparently Bruce wasn't allowed to enter the tournament. He sees this opportunity to get in.
Yep.
The two big fellas get into it on the docks, but Bruce loses easily. It ain't much of a fight. Lee then invites Jack and Jane aboard, and it's here we get some detail about Jun being able to feel spirits with her mind. I'm like, okay, what?
Yeah, so
why are we doing that?
I don't ever remember some Tekken.
I don't remember Tekken having supernatural elements like this.
It was more about, it was all about fighting. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind how, like, I didn't mind the premonition idea.
Yeah.
But like, I felt a spirit and it's sick. It's a bit like, really, film? Didn't get it, no. She tells Lei that Jane is sick and Jack is basically a robot, which doesn't actually tell us a robot, but she implies he's cold and hard.
Yeah.
Everyone gets aboard and the ship sets sail. On board, Jun and Lei walk through the boat until they see a sad woman sitting a distance away. Lee makes a second reference to some of the women being too skinny to fight, and Jun shuts him down again. They do keep talking about how sad she looks, though. This is Michelle Chang. I will only refer to now as sad woman, because that's what they say over and over again. As the boat passes under a bridge, we see Kazuha on it, clearly about to jump aboard. As this is going on, Jun gets her bad feeling again. Got a bad feeling about this. Kazuha lands on the boat and is confronted by Lee straight away. Lee welcomes him, but obviously inside he's internally worried. I do like the fact that Kazuha isn't trying to hide. He's entering a tournament so he can get to his father. That's what he's doing.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you finally decided to make it, my dear brother. I'm sure our father will be delighted to hear that you will be entering the competition. Shit. Stationing Nina at the port was a wasted effort.
Hey, it's his brother? I thought Mishima's only son was his adopted son, Li Qiaolan. That's interesting. I wonder if he's been training for the event.
All of this while Jun and Lei watch on. Jun, lost for words, thinks back to when he offered to get the bobcat for her. Don't bring that up, it was stupid. She remarks that he has such a cold spirit now. That's how she talks. A cold spirit. Yeah. Alright. The boat arrives at the island and we see that it's very heavily guarded. In his room, Lei remarks about it being prison-like and the chances of them being able to make a move will probably only come when the fighting starts. I don't mind that. Start the tournament and off we go. Jun is on the balcony thinking about Kazuha while looking at the locket. She wonders how he has changed so much and gets a vision of him looking kind of devilish. Speaking of Kazuha, he is training in the gym and gets a vision of his dad, so wrecks the punching bag. Doing so causes the big scar on his chest to glow red. As it causes him pain, he flashes back to what happened to him as a kid and declares that he'll never forgive his dad. I don't mind this stuff.
Yeah.
This is all story related,
Yeah.
and we know we're leading to a face-off between the two.
Yeah, of course.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Jun then arrives and gives him the locket. He refuses to acknowledge it and slaps it out of her hand. Jun then reminds him of who she is and tells him that she came after him and tried to actually find him. I like that. I was like, oh, you really did. That's cool. She tells him that he has changed and his quest for revenge is consuming him. He then goes on a big speech about how revenge is the only thing that kept him alive. Again, good touches.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
He tells her that he willingly sold his soul to the devil, which she just kind of brushes over. I thought that was interesting. He's like, I sold my soul to the devil. And she's like, eh.
Yeah, it's okay.
Look, that's important.
Yeah.
He then challenges her to a fight. Before they can get into it though, Nina attacks and Jun helps Kazuha fight her off. Anna arrives and, in a hilariously, pulls a rocket launcher up out of her ass and shoots it at them, blasting everyone outside. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's anime. They can get away with it.
But no point have they gone that stupid.
I know.
She's just like, she's got this long dress on and she's standing there and she goes, what the I'm like, what the fuck?
Is that like her special ability? I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, like it's her arcana. The noise draws others and Anna runs away. I did laugh. Anime, no one is hurt. No one is hurt. Everyone's just fine. Kazuha queries why Jun helped him and she shows him the locket. He refuses to change his mind, and tells her to stay out of my way. Basically.
Yeah.
Nina, you said you wouldn't miss again. I'm afraid you failed for the last time.
Oh.
And you, I'm sure you would have been wonderful in the competition. You're pretty quick when you're running away.
The next day, all the fighters are gathered, and Lei tells Jun that he's found the way into the underground testing area. Convenient. Thank you for doing it off screen. I didn't need to see it.
Yeah.
She tells him that she'll meet him there later. She wants to meet Hayachi and clear up some old business. The fighters are given orders by Lee and told how to progress in the tournament. Basically, start in the jungle and fight your way to the main tower, beating everyone along the way. Hayachi then arrives and declares that he'll be waiting in the tower to fight the winner. I really like the setup.
Yep.
It's very battle royale.
Yeah, definitely.
Start in the jungle, you get to the tower, whoever gets there alive gets to fight Hayachi.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
However, one problem. That is some serious cheating. You get Hayachi, you've already been in 10 fights.
Be tired and fucking injured.
Yeah, absolutely. Before anything can happen, though, Sad Woman comes running through the crowd declaring that this is payback before throwing an axe at him. And in my favourite scene in the fucking movie, he catches it with his teeth and then bites down on it, crushing it to pieces. I laughed for like a minute straight. I went back and kept going back and rewatched. He catches a flying axe in his teeth and then bites it into pieces. I'm like, that is so stupid. But it's so funny.
Anime, man.
Absolutely.
Hayachi Mishima! This is payback!
It's that girl.
Oh no!
He then jumps down and tells Sad Woman that he won't hide from her and she wants to fight him. All we just do is win a tournament.
Yeah.
Meet me at the tower. We then get Kazuha, Lee and Jun speaking eternally about each's individual plan. In the jungle now, we see Kazuha and Michelle kicking ass, Michelle Sad Woman, before cutting to Lee monitoring their progress. It seems as though we now find out there's a different reason for the tournament to take place, and the competitors are all test subjects. He's then informed about Lei's position, making it clear that he's aware of where his plan is as well. Yep. So I'm like, why are you letting that continue? I don't really get why he allowed Lei to continue to go into the underground. Like, surely you'd stop him.
Well, I suppose you'd think so, but then...
There's no good reason.
No.
Lei takes out some basic guards and climbs down to the secret entrance, but is held at gunpoint by another. Jack too then emerges from the water and helps him. They talk about his motivations and he says that he's here to find, I'm going to try and say this, Dr. Bozkanotvic. I think that's it.
Yeah.
So the doctor can cure Jane. Jun is meanwhile trying to find Kazuha so she can save his soul, but is now fighting and beating up Sad Woman. Kazuha beats her up, loses. She loses. But on being defeated and on the ground, she tells him about Hayachi being responsible for the destruction of a village and the death of her loved ones. That's why she's sad.
Yep.
Kazuha chooses to insult her instead. I was like, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
It was, yeah.
You weren't strong enough. I'm like, yeah, you give it to her. She gets mad, but he knocks her down. But he's stopped from killing her by the arriving of Jun. Jack and Lei have come to a locked door, and Jack uses laser eyes to get the code. They are then seen by Lee, who tells the staff to send in some sort of creatures to battle. And apparently the experiment is properly beginning now. Jack and Lei are deep underground and are attacked by androids. They fight and win, but in the battle, Jack's arm is gashed. And this is where Lei discovers that he's an android.
Yep.
What do we fucking do?
Something's happened to her. She's having trouble breathing.
Another seizure. We have to hurry and find the professor.
Hey, your arm. It's gashed. So, you're really not human.
Jun is still trying to talk Kazuha down, but he won't stop. She declares that she will fight him to show him, but before they can get into it again, she has a vision of red eyes. She tells Kazuha and they get ready to face off with this new threat. This really stupid threat.
Yes.
Lei and Jack have arrived at an area with coloured tubes. That's how I recognise those eyes. Got coloured tubes, that's different. They're looking around when... Oh my god, I forgot. when Leia's punched in the face by a kangaroo wearing boxing
Oh,
gloves. Now, this obviously exists in the game, but it exists in the game as a joke, not as a thing in this. He's obviously quite shocked by this, and he gets punched again before the doctor arrives to stop a fight. It's so stupid. But I did laugh again. I was like, that's so silly.
Yeah, I mean, it was entertaining.
It's entertaining, exactly. Now, that's entertainment.
Huh? There's something here. Ow! What's that? You're kidding me. Is this some kind of joke?
In the jungle, Nina and Anna are about to fight each other. They spit some barbs before getting into it, seemingly trying to kill each other. They're then stopped by the arrival of dinosaurs. Genetically modified dinosaurs. I was like, oh, what? Mm-hmm. So this is very Umbrella-like.
Yes.
Where you make a monster that's just a bit useless, and you'd be like, why would you choose that to make?
Yep.
Genetically modified dinosaurs? What? There's no explanation. It's just weird.
No.
But Anna's killed. One of the dinosaurs just eats her. And I was like, oh, okay, that was a bit out of nowhere.
Yeah.
All right, well, there's a character dead.
Yep.
Now you know what it's like to feel the pain of betrayal.
Jun and Kazuha are then attacked by the beasties too. In the lab, the doctor treats Jane and explains what Jack and Jane's roles were. He made Jack and gave him a conscience. Jack then found Jane in a war zone and it changed him. So, okay, a bit weird, right?
Extremely weird. I mean, I've not played Tekken in a while, but I'm pretty sure Tekken ain't got dinosaurs, isn't it?
It might do. I haven't played Tekken in a while either.
Something is very wrong here.
The doctor then feels the need to explain about Roger the kangaroo and also about Mishima's testing. All this while Jun and Kazuha are battling the dinosaurs. The latter gets his ass kicked while Lee watches on, mocking Tekken and declaring Rex, as he calls them, success. Hayachi internally calls to Kazuha, and as a dinosaur goes to kill him, he powers up and rips the jaw of one of the beasties apart.
Yep.
It's quite a violent scene.
It is very,
He then wipes out all the rest while Jun realises the darkness inside him has fully awakened. Kazuha makes it to the tower while Jun is still trying to stop him. Love, give it up. Lee then arrives and tells Kazuha that he will have to fight him first. That fight goes as well as for Lee as you could expect.
Yeah, exactly.
But then Hayachi arrives. Lee tries to argue with his adopted father, but Hayachi knocks him away and starts fighting Kazuha. Lee, furious with what took place, kills all the staff with a machine gun and sets the island in self-destruct. His plans being to kill himself and take his entire family with him. And I was like, whoa!
Yeah.
Dude!
That changed a lot.
That went from 0 to 11, man, you know? But how mad were you that the voice...
Oh, yeah. God.
How did we not do it? The self-destruct... I put it in. I just wish they had done, but no, they don't. But Lei hears the recorded announcement and his group attempt to make their way out of the facility. Kazuha actually has his ass kicked, but before Hayachi can deliver the killing blow, guess who interferes for the 100th time? Jun!
Of course.
What's wrong, Kazuya? Get up! This can't be everything you've got! Stay back! This is family business.
I don't understand it. Why would someone as powerful as you throw your own son into the canyon? And why are you now flooding the world with weapons and planning its destruction?
She demands to know why you have done the things you have done. He goes on some mad speech about justice. Justice for the planet because humanity sucks, basically. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yep.
He's separate off now.
Yes.
He wanted to create the devil in the body of Kazuha. He did everything by design. Okay? The bomb goes off. That was unexpected.
I know.
I was like, oh, everyone's dead.
Very quickly, yeah.
Yeah. But it's mainly because the island begins to blow up and sink. Jack holds the door open so the others can escape, but dies in the process. Got some flashbacks, man, to Zangief.
Yeah.
But Zangief survived. Jack didn't. We see the island beginning to split apart and go down in flames. Kazuha succumbs to his power and viciously pummels Hayachi. He has the chance to kill Hayachi by throwing him off a cliff, but guess who steps in again? Jun. She tells him she was hurt by what happened too, and she wants to save him. He has to let her save him, which he does, expelling the devil from his heart. And I was like, is that how deals with the devil work?
Yep.
I don't want you anymore. All right, fair enough. You know, a bit weird, right?
Very weird.
I guess it isn't contract signing and stuff like that.
No.
I also found it quite annoying that it was like, now you've decided to let her save you, not before. Now?
Yeah, exactly, yeah, but right at the end.
Right at the end.
If killing me would end your hatred, then go ahead and do it. If you save your father, then my death was worth it.
You're a fool. Why are you risking your life for a man you'll never know?
Never know. You're wrong. I was injured just like you were. I was injured by your pain deep in my heart. I tried to save you then, but I couldn't. I'd like to save you now, but I can't reach you if you won't let me.
Let you save me? Are you really crying for me?
This gives Hayachi, though, the chance to sucker punch Jun, which I did laugh at, and Kazuo, and the three of them all fall from the cliff. We see Lei emerge from the submarine they escaped in, because they got left in the submarine, helping the other tournament competitors escape from the island. And last but not least, we see Kazuo then emerge with the unconscious Jun. They escape the island, as we see Hayachi also survived, leaving in a jet as the island explodes. Okay, everyone lived except Jack, Lee, and Anna. That's the three in it, yeah. Sometime later, and Jun is a bit older, and she's got a young son, Jin. Now, according to online, because the film doesn't say this, this is the child she had with Kazuo. This is a character from later Tekken called Jun. Okay. But he's also, his mother is Jin. This is Jin. His mother is Jun, and his father is Kazuo. Okay. She senses something is wrong, but when Jin asks, she says that everything is fine, and they walk off home. And that's the end of the film.
Mama!
Jin!
Come on, I want to keep reading the story from yesterday.
All right. The wind just changed.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Everything is fine.
I was like, that's a really crap ending. Like a final scene.
Yeah.
But, yeah, all right. And that's it. That's the animated movie of Tekken.
I mean, as I said, I've not played Tekken in a long time, so I don't know if there's dinosaurs and Rexes or...
Oh, well, I know there's a kangaroo with boxing gloves.
I know
there's a wooden guy, ain't there, made out of wood.
Yeah, the wooden guy, yeah.
I recognise a lot of the characters.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I couldn't tell you any more about them. And sometimes I think I'm getting confused between a character that's in Virtua Fighter and not actually in Tekken.
That's what I keep thinking, because when you said like Jun and Liam, I was thinking, like, is that the drunk guy? He's always falling on the floor.
No, that's the guy from Virtua Fighter. He is the monkey dance guy.
Yeah.
No, like some of the ones I recognise for sure is Hayachi.
Yeah, Hayachi.
Anna. I think I do recognise Kazuo, but Jun not so much. She might be not in the later games.
Yeah.
I think because her son is Jin. I recognise Jin because he's got white with a headband.
Yep.
But yeah, it's so as a reference point, I don't think this necessarily works for us in the same way.
No.
As an animated film, as a film that was 57 minutes long, overall.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't great. It was okay. I'll give it a bit, but I mean, the animation was good.
Yep.
You know, it's typical animation, typical Japanese film.
Yep.
Yeah. So and it covers the marks now. So it's like a cross between like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
That sort of style there, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think I agree with you as well. I think a lot of the time it's muted, not particularly really look good to look at. But then they do have these moments, as you say, which remind me more of that Japanese manga style, Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that, where it kind of blows up in your face and it's something funny or silly happens. And you're like, whoa, that's pretty fucking cool. What about voice acting overall? Some good, some bad?
Yeah, it was in the middle, you know. I mean, it's always hard to watch a Japanese film covered by English people.
Yeah, you almost want to hear the Japanese voices with subtitles.
You don't know if they've actually done it justice, you know.
Yeah, like, was the voice right? Is that voice too deep? Is that voice too light? That kind of thing.
I mean, I completely off the subject. I mean, I watched obviously Squid Game.
Yep.
I've seen it twice. I've seen it once with the Japanese version and once with the
dubbing.
Oh my god! Don't ever watch it dub because it's ridiculous.
Right.
So I watched it, and again the same with like Battle Royale. Battle Royale, I've always watched it in Japanese.
Is there a dubbed version?
I don't even know.
I've never seen it. Yeah,
I mean, every Japanese films I've watched, like Tale of Two Sisters.
Yep.
You know, all those films. There's always been in Japanese with the subtitles.
Yep.
That's how those films are meant to be watched.
Yeah, I agree. I have no problem. I enjoy. I've got no problem with subtitles and stuff like that. Mostly, I think a lot of the voices were good. Some of them felt weird. Like the first time I heard Hayachi speak, I was like, "Oh, it felt like he should have a deep, brooding voice instead of this "oh my god" kind of thing going on." You know. But overall, I think it was pretty fucking good for voice acting, considering we don't know what the Japanese voices sound like in that aspect. Overall, I'm like you. This sits in the middle for me. There's nothing particularly bad about it. There's nothing offensive. I think it might lean slightly towards better though, because of those weird moments where you're just like, where it's got so like it's like, you go, whoa, what? Like the rocket launcher fucking bit. Here's some fucking dinosaurs. Lee's gonna blow up the fucking thing. You're like, what the fuck's going on? And it makes you laugh. The fucking punching kangaroo.
Well, I mean, for being 57 minutes long,
I
think it had a pretty decent, solid story.
I think it sits in the middle. Of the animated, we've done. We've done Sonic. We've done Animal Crossing. Dead Space wins in that one.
Dead Space wins, but this is easily second.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, well. I would put Animal Crossing second. Well, we did that in a different video, didn't we? Tekken the motion picture. We will definitely check out the live action one further down the line, but for now, let us know what you think of the animated version. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?